I'm excited about this one, are you?
Yeah.
So, the legends down at Titleist Golf have got us back for early access to something. That was ripped. And before we start unboxing, if you've got any clubs that you want to buy or sell, visit compendiumgolf.com and we can offer a free quote for you today. By the time this video goes out, the embargo would have been lifted, but we've got the new Titleist GT Drivers. Very highly anticipated. We saw them appear on the PGA Tour a month ago,
a few weeks ago now, yeah.
And it looks like a lot of the pros have kind of swapped it out and put it into their bag. So hopefully we're going to unbox these and see what models are in here. I'm hoping, I did ask Mark downstairs, I wanted a 9-degree head in the GT2 GT3 GT4. I'm currently using the TSR4, so one of these could be making its way to the bag. So if we take a look at those, we've got the GT2, GT3, GT4, all in the exact same spec. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but what we're going to do is just grab the driver shaft from my TSR4, which is a Tensei 1K black. It's the 75 grams stiff flex shaft as well, and I did get it cut down ½ an inch, so it's tour length, whatever that means. So let's give these a go and see how they perform. Right, first up we're going to hit the GT2, which is the most forgiving of the three, probably targeted to like a mid to higher handicapper. So we'll hit a couple of shots for this first, and then compare the others. In terms of the kind of real world differences between these drivers, the GT2 is going to be the highest spinning head, the GT3 kind of sits somewhere in the middle, and then the GT4 is like the ultra low spinning, like hard to hit club targeted to the lower handicaps. But you can swap the weights around on the GT4 to make it a little bit more forgiving, which is what I did with my one. So let's try and hit a couple more shots with this one and then we'll move into the GT3. I mean, I'll take that every day of the week, though. Gun hub. That is so nice. Really, really easy to get as well. I struck them all but one pretty well. Yeah, nice. Off with the GT2 head. GT3, the popular one. Right, let's give this thing a go. Slightly smaller head, but it's not tiny. That just sits so nice as well. Oh my god, wow. This is definitely going to be the most popular model if it's anything like the TSR3. Yeah, I won't like that. Carries a long way. That's really nice. Little cheat for anyone who's interested. This is supposed to be the most unforgiving driver, much smaller head, smaller sweet spot, lower spinning. However, these weights, so the weight here and the weight here, are the exact same. Now what Titleist usually do as standard is the lighter weight is at the back and the heavier weight is at the front. If you swap the weights over, it becomes like a, I guess, GT 3.5. It's still an extremely low spinning head, but it will just make it a little bit more forgiving. Oof. Let's go. If I'm being honest, it doesn't look any different. Apart from the tiny, tiny detail, which you saw in the B-roll, it's just that GT instead of TSR on the top line. Apart from that, this looks and feels absolutely identical to my club. That was ripped. Oh, so good. Honestly, in that setup, when you move the weights around, it is so much better. It's just like a lower launching GT3. It doesn't feel difficult to hit at all.
Cool.
Interesting. So look, we fit 3 shots with each of them. Let's go through the kind of main details of it. The number that everyone cares about is the carry distance, really. So you can see with the GT2, it was an average carry of 265 yards. GT3 jumped massively, almost 15 yards more carry. That's actually really surprising. 279 average with the GT3, and then dropped a little bit with the GT4 to 272 average carry. Honestly, the reason the GT4 was a little bit shorter is probably because I wasn't catching it quite out the middle, but I was probably doing the same with GT3. So it just goes to show that that tiny little bit more forgiveness, that's probably why much more of the tour players are going for the GT3 and not many people are in the GT4. But if you look at the rest of the numbers, they're all pretty consistent. Like the ball speed's pretty similar with all of the heads. If anything, the ball speed is a little bit lower with the GT2, which is what you would expect. Launch angle is all pretty much the same, around that kind of 15-degree mark. Spin with the GT2 and the GT4 are similar. Again, that's probably where you're factoring in something that's a high spinning club and nice and forgiving versus something that's really not that forgiving. So with the GT4, if you're catching it a little bit out of the centre, it's gonna spin off the planet. But apart from that, I mean, for me, that's a clear winner. I don't know, like, if I can make it any clearer than that. I mean, the GT3 for me was going 15 yards further. So if you're a mid to low handicapper and you're interested in the GT products, then yeah, I think the GT3 is going to be the winner. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Easy. Cool. Well, look, thanks for tuning in, guys. Totally Golf will be stocking these in their store in Harlow. They're going to be doing full custom fittings for these. They've got all of the demo kit. Massive thank you to them once again for letting us come down here. You can book your fittings online. Just visit the Totally Golf website. We'll leave a link to that in the description. If you did enjoy the video, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, because hopefully we're going to do a lot more videos like this, and if there's anything else you want to see, put it in the comments.